In this video, we are going to study about the determination of soil pH by pH meter. Before starting this topic, now we have to understand what is this pH. See here, soil pH or pH is defined as the negative logarithm of the hydrogen ion concentration. That is, pH is equals to minus log to the base 10 into concentration of H plus ions. It is the pH. What actually this pH is means, it measures the acidity or basicity of a soil or a solution. We know that numerals of pH are from 0 to 14. 7 indicates it is neutral pH, whereas numerals below 7 indicates acidity and numerals above 7 indicates basicity. The important point here is pH is a measure of acidity or basicity of a soil. Now, by using this pH meter, we are going to determine the pH of a soil. Now, we have learnt about the pH. Now, coming to the pH meter. What actually is this pH meter? See here, pH meter, this instrument being a voltmeter which is attached to glass electrode with calomel reference electrode, which gives the accurate pH of a soil. This pH meter is a voltmeter. That means it is a device for measuring electrical potential between 2 points in an electric circuit. This voltmeter is attached to glass electrode with calomel reference electrode, which gives us accurate pH of a soil. Here, this pH meter measures the concentration of H plus ions in a solution or a soil sample. Soil sample solution. See, a pH meter measures the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. This is about the pH meter. Now, we have learned that pH meter is nothing but a voltmeter which is attached to glass electrode with calomel reference electrode. Now, we should understand what are this glass electrode and calomel reference electrode. Now, let's study about that. Now, let us first learn about this reference electrode. Here, we are taking the reference electrode, that is calomel electrode. See here, this is the schematics of reference electrode. Here, it is a glass vessel. The bottom of this glass vessel consists of mercury. Above this mercury consists of Hg2Cl2 plus Hg. This is mercurous chloride. Why this is called as calomel reference electrode means, commercial name of this Hg2Cl2 is calomel. So it is called as calomel reference electrode. In reference electrode, we are already knowing the electrode potential. That is, electrode potential is already known in the reference electrode. Now, coming to the second point, a platinum wire is sealed into a glass tube, is dipped into mercury layer, is used to provide the external electrical contact. You can observe that here is a platinum wire which is sealed into the glass tube, which is dipped in the mercury layer. It is used to provide the external electrical contact. Now, it is important to understand why this reference, that is calomel reference electrode, is used in the determination of this soil pH in pH meter means, here reference electrode is used to provide constant potential which is used to complete the circuit. The job of this reference electrode is to provide a constant potential. Constant potential. And it is used to complete the circuit. This is about the reference electrode. Now, we have learnt about the job of this reference electrode in the pH meter. The electrolytic solution in this reference, that is calomel reference electrode, is KCl solution. Now, let's study about the glass electrode. Here you can see, here is a narrow glass tube and here is a glass bulb. and the electrolytic solution is 0.1 molar of HCl. Here there is a wire in a narrow tube which is made up of AgCl that is coated with metallic silver. You can observe here. So here is the AgCl which is coated with metallic silver. So this AgCl coated with metallic silver is mainly used for electrical contact, and this is connected to external circuit. Now we have to understand what actually this glass electrode's job is. Here glass electrode is mainly used for the determination of pH of a solution, that is determination of pH of solution. This is the main job of this glass electrode. This glass electrode is a type of ion selective electrode. That means it is permeable to H+ ions. This glass electrode is permeable to H+ ions. So this permeability of this H+ ions indicates that this glass electrode is used in the determination of measuring of pH of solution. This is about the glass electrode. Important point in the glass electrode is that it is mainly used for the determination of pH of solution, and it is a ion selective electrode. This is selective for H+ ions in a solution. Now let's see what are the reagents which are used for the determination of this soil pH by pH meter. We need standard buffer solutions of pH 4, 7 and 9.2, and we need distilled water, and we need soil. Now let us see the principle of this pH meter. Here, coming to the principle of pH meter, first point, pH meter measures the voltage between the two electrodes and display the result into corresponding pH value. Here two electrodes are glass electrode and reference electrode. This pH meter measures the voltage between these two electrodes. What is voltage? It is the difference in electrical potential between 2 points. This pH meter measures the voltage between the two electrode, that is glass electrode and the calomel reference electrode, and display the result into corresponding pH values. This is about the first point. Then coming to the second point, the glass electrode and the reference electrode are inserted into a soil solution sample of which pH is to be tested. So take a soil sample and insert these two electrodes in a soil sample of which the pH is to be tested. Now coming to the third point, after immersing the electrodes in the solution, H+ ions in the test solution exchange for the positively charged ions on the glass bulb. Now this is very important point here. Now we have inserted the glass electrode and reference electrode in the test solution, that is in the soil solution sample. Now we have already learnt about the schematics of this glass electrode. Let's once again see it now. See here, let's consider this as a soil sample. When this glass electrode and a reference electrode are inserted into this sample, this soil sample consists of H+ ions, and we know that this glass electrode consists of H+ ions, that is in the HCl we are having H+ ions. Not only H+ ion but also some other positive ions are present in the glass electrode, such as sodium. Here this glass bulb at the end is made up of oxides of sodium, calcium. So what happens when this glass electrode and reference electrode are inserted in the test sample means the H+ ions which are present in the soil sample and the positive ions like H+, Na+, which are present in the glass electrode will get exchanged. That means these H+ ions which are present in the soil sample will move inside the glass electrode. Why? Because it is permeable to H+ ions, and the positive ions, the H+ ions or any positive ions present on the glass electrode will move towards the that is moved to the soil sample. That means these two positive ions get exchanged. This is the very important point in this. Now let's read the next point. See here, this exchange of ions generates some electrical flow that is captured by the silver wire. We are having the silver wire. So when the exchange of ions generates between the glass electrode and a soil sample solution, then there is a generation of some electric flow that is captured by the silver wire. So this is also a very important point. Coming to the next point, the voltage of this electric flow measured by pH meter by converting it into pH value. See, I have said there is a generation of electrical flow when this exchange of ions takes place, which is captured by the silver wire. Here, the voltage of this electrical flow is measured by the pH meter. That's the major principle. This voltage is converted into pH value in the pH meter. That is, voltage is converted into pH value in the pH meter. How this voltage is generated means by the exchange of ions between the soil sample solution and the glass electrode. And these 3 points are very important. Here, now coming to the next point. Increase in the acidity of a solution as greater concentration of H plus ions that increase the voltage. This increase in voltage decreases the pH reading in a pH meter. See here, let's consider the soil sample. Here it is a soil sample. If this soil sample is acidic means, let's consider this soil sample is acidic, then automatically it consists of more number of H plus ions. If more number of H plus ions are present means exchange of H plus ions with positive ions in the glass electrode is also more. So when this exchange of this H plus ions with the positive ions in a glass electrode is more means, then there is a greater electric flow which increases the voltage. So when the voltage increases, pH reading will be decreased. That means acidic pH is below 7. So when the voltage is increased, pH reading will decrease. This is the funda behind this. See here, once again I will explain you. Here take a soil sample which is acidic. Then this soil sample will consist of so many number of H plus ions. So this H plus ions will exchange with the positive ions in a glass electrode. Positive ions in a glass electrode. So here the exchange of H plus ions with the positive ions in glass electrode is maximum. So that increases the voltage, and this increase in voltage decreases the pH reading in the pH meter. If the voltage increases, pH reading will decrease. So pH reading is decreasing means it shows that it is acidic. That I have already said that pH below 7 is acidic. So when the voltage increases, pH reading decreases. Now coming to the basic soil sample. See here, let's consider this soil sample. It is basic or alkaline. When this basic soil sample is present, that means less number of H plus ions are present. So there is a minimum exchange of H plus ions with the positive ions in a glass. Why? Because there are lesser number of H plus ions. So lesser number of H plus ions will decrease the voltage and increase the pH value. If there is a decrease in the voltage, then there is an increase in the pH value. Decrease in the voltage, increase in the pH value. Increase in the pH value means pH above 7 is basic. So increase in pH value indicates that it is a basic soil sample. Important point is that when the soil sample is acidic, then the voltage is increased and the pH reading will decrease. When the soil sample is basic, then the voltage will decrease and the pH reading will increase. This is about the principle of pH meter. This is very important. I hope you have understood it very well. We need buffer solutions for the calibration of the pH meter. Now let us understand about the preparation of these buffer solutions. First of all, let us understand what are these buffer solutions. Here, buffer solution is one which maintains its pH fairly constant even up to the addition of small amounts of acid or base. That means, take a solution here, add acid or add base to it, but this solution's pH will remain constant even when the acid and base are added to this solution. Such solutions which maintain the pH are known as buffer solution. These are very important to calibrate the pH meter. We need buffer solution of pH 4, 7 and 9.2. Now let's see how these buffer solutions are prepared. Buffer tablets of required pH are available in the market. So we have to take buffer tablet of required pH and we have to add 100 ml of distilled water to it. Then we will get the buffer solution ready. See here, take a buffer tablet of required pH. If we need buffer tablet, that is buffer tablet of required pH, that is 4. If we need buffer of pH 4, then we have to take that pH 4 buffer tablet. To that we have to add 100 ml of distilled water. Then buffer solution is ready. Now what if the buffer tablets are not available? Then we can prepare the buffer solution by our own. So if we need to prepare the buffer solution of pH 4, then we have to dissolve 10.21 grams of potassium hydrogen thalate in 1 liter of distilled water. Here buffer solution of pH 4 is prepared by adding 10.21 grams of potassium hydrogen thalate in 1 liter of distilled water and by dissolving it. Now if we want to prepare the buffer solution of pH 7, then we have to take 12.40 grams of boric acid and 0.93 grams of NaCl, and it is dissolved in 1 liter of distilled water. Now if we have to prepare the buffer solution of pH 9.2, then we have to take 19.10 grams of borax in 1 liter of distilled water. This is about the preparation of buffer solutions of required pH if the buffer tablet is not available. Now the next step is to prepare the soil sample. We can prepare the soil sample of these three types: saturated soil paste, and second one is 1:2 soil H2O suspension, and third one is soil in calcium chloride. Here coming to the first one, that is saturated soil paste. In 100 ml beaker we have to take, in 100 ml beaker we have to take 10 grams of soil and we have to add distilled water and we should make a saturated paste. See here, take 10 grams of soil in 100 ml beaker and add distilled water slowly to make a saturated paste. Then on stirring, the saturated paste glistens and flows slightly when beaker is tilted. When this beaker is tilted, then the saturated paste should flow slightly. So in that way we have to make the saturated soil paste. And next we have to allow to stand undisturbed for 4 hours. We should not disturb this soil sample for 4 hours. This is about the preparation of saturated soil paste. Then coming to the preparation of 1:2 ratio of soil H2O suspension. What is suspension? Here, suspension means it is the heterogeneous mixture of a finely distributed solid in a liquid, where the solid is not dissolved in liquid. See here, take a beaker, and in the beaker, let us consider it is having some sort of liquid. Then we will add the solid. Here, this solid is finely distributed in the liquid, but it is not dissolved in the liquid. Such type of solutions are called as suspension. Next, here we have to prepare 1:2 ratio of soil H2O suspension. Here in H2O we are adding the soil. Here H2O is liquid and soil is the solid. So this soil will finally distribute in the liquid, but it will not dissolve in the liquid. So it is an example for suspension. We have to prepare in 1:2 ratio. So if we take 30 grams of soil, then we have to take 60 ml. That is twice of this. If we take 20 grams of soil, then we have to take 40 ml of distilled water, like this. Here we have taken 30 grams of soil plus 60 ml of distilled water in a stoppered conical flask and shake for 1 hour in a shaker. This is about the second soil sample preparation. Then coming to the third type, that is soil in calcium chloride. Here we have to take 10 grams of dried soil in 100 ml beaker, and we have to add 50 ml of 0.01 molar of CaCl2 solution. Then we have to adjust the pH of CaCl2 between 5 to 6.5 pH. How this pH is adjusted? By adding CaOH twice or dilute HCl. See here, we are taking 100 ml of beaker. In that we are adding 10 grams of dried soil. To that we are adding 50 ml of 0.01 molar of CaCl2 solution. Then we have to adjust the pH of CaCl2 between 5 to 6.5. How this pH is adjusted? By adding CaOH twice or dilute HCl. Next, coming to the third point, allow the soil to absorb CaCl2 solution without stirring. This 10 grams of soil should absorb this CaCl2 solution. So we have to keep it undisturbed without stirring. Then we have to stir for 30 minutes and then we have to allow it to settle. This is about the third type of sample preparation. We have to learn overall method to determine pH of a soil sample. Now we have prepared buffer solution and we have prepared soil samples also. Then let us see the method. That is the procedure of this. First, let's read the first point. Take either saturated soil paste or 1:2 ratio soil water sample or soil CaCl2 to determine the pH. We can take any of these soil samples. We have prepared 3 types of soil samples. We can take any of the soil sample to test the pH. Now we have to on the pH meter and allow the pH meter to warm up for 15 minutes. We have to allow the pH meter to warm up for 15 minutes. Why? Because to eliminate asymmetric potential of the instrument. To eliminate the asymmetrical potential of the instrument, we have to allow the pH meter to warm up for 15 minutes. Next, the next point is very important. Why? Because it involves calibration of the pH meter. Now, why we have to calibrate the pH meter means to get the accurate pH readings. So we are calibrating the pH meter with buffer solutions. We have already prepared the buffer solution. Now let's calibrate the pH meter. Why? Because we have to get accurate pH measurements. That's why we are calibrating this with the buffer solutions. Now let's read the point here. Place known standard buffer solution in a beaker of pH 7. Remember that we have to calibrate with at least 2 buffers. We are placing known standard buffer of solution in a beaker of pH 7. We have already prepared the pH 7 buffer. Now see here, in the beaker we are taking pH 7 buffer, standard buffer solution. Then we are immersing glass and calomel electrode. Glass and calomel electrode. Or we can immerse single combined electrode in which there is a presence of glass and calomel electrode in a single electrode, that is combined electrode. Now after immersing the glass and calomel electrode, we have to adjust the instrument reading at the known pH 7 of a buffer. We have taken the pH 7, so we have to adjust for pH 7 in the instrument, that is in the pH meter. Then this buffer is removed and the electrodes are washed with distilled water. Then the job of this pH 7 is completed. Then we have to take another buffer solution and we have to calibrate the pH meter. See here, take another buffer solution of known pH 9.2. We have already prepared the buffer solution of 9.2. See, then we have to immerse glass electrode and reference electrode, that is calomel reference electrode, in this or single combined electrode, and we have to note the reading after immersing the electrode in it. The pH must read 9.2. If the pH is not reading 9.2, then we have to adjust the instrument to 9.2. That is about the calibration. It is same for the pH 7. We have to note the reading for this pH 7. If the pH meter is not showing the 7 pH, then we have to adjust the instrument to the pH 7. Like this, we will calibrate the pH meter to get accurate pH readings. Then we have to remove the second buffer and we have to wash the electrodes with water. Now we have calibrated the pH meter. Now after the calibration, we have to take a soil sample. We have prepared 3 types of soil sample. We can take any one of this soil sample and we can immerse the electrodes and we can get the accurate pH reading of this soil sample. Now let us read the last point. The electrodes are then immersed in a beaker containing soil paste or soil suspension. Read the pH and record it. This is about the determination of pH by pH meter. We have learnt about the principle and preparation of buffer solutions and preparation of soil samples, and we have learnt about the glass electrode and calomel reference electrode in this video. Now the question arises, why we have to determine the soil pH? Why? Because the soil pH influences the availability of essential nutrients in the plants. From the pH 6 to 7.5, the plants grow satisfactorily. This is the pH required for the crops to grow. This is about the determination of soil pH by pH meter. I hope you have cleared all your doubts. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and support us.